Hello there, welcome along to The Sweet Spot. It's the Racing Post's weekly golf show with Bruce Millington and Steve Palmer, looking ahead to two great tournaments this week. But first of all, looking back on a fantastic weekend, really enjoying the golf at the moment. It's been absolutely great last few weeks. Steve, first of all, are you suffering? You've got a lot of layers on. You look like you're about to enter the World Strip Poker Championships.
No. I'm just aware that the weather's turned a little bit. Yeah, very chilly mornings at the moment. So just protecting the neck. A lot of times autumn arrives and I get serious neck strain. So yeah, just protecting it. Yeah, I know I don't look great, but
oh, you look fine. I think you look very fetching.
Who cares?
Exactly, mate. Okay, yes, let's start with the President's Cup. It was really dramatic. Well, I'd say it was really dramatic. It wasn't really dramatic. Americans went out and put it to bed fairly early and just carried on. But very enjoyable, I thought. And one thing I did want to say, Steve, I thought the format was good. I think stretching it over 4 days like that is something that the Ryder Cup could learn from. You get 2 extra games, but also I just think the action sort of gets a little bit too frenetic the first couple of days. You know the singles is going to be a mayhem, but fitting in the 4 balls and foursomes on the same day, you don't really get time to sort of enjoy it. I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying, and I thoroughly enjoyed the tournament as well. And there's been lots of talk about the competition's future. I think just leave it as it is. It was a good fun event, wasn't it?
It was.
And the internationals could have, if they could have selected their best players, your Cameron Smiths, your Wacom Demons, your Louis Hazens. It could have been a closer contest, could have been a more exciting contest. Hopefully by 2024, the next one, they'll have resolved these selection issues and be a more competitive side. At some stage, the internationals are going to win, aren't they? At some stage, they'll win. It'll be, hopefully we'll be alive to see it.
So 17.5, 12.5 was the final winning margin. You put the Americans up at -7, so that wasn't great. But you did well with one of your top scorer tips. I thought I followed you in on Jordan Spieth. That was good. I was kind of semi-gutted when I saw that Jordan Spieth, who was your top overall scorer tip, and Cam Davis, who was your top rest of world tip, were drawn together. But it's a bit sort of bittersweet, that, isn't it? Because you're kind of guaranteed a win, aren't you? Because one or other is going to win. But also you kind of want a lot, don't you? What was your feelings when you saw them paired together?
My feelings were it's always the way. I get so fed up with that happening. I mean, it seems to happen every flipping time. So, I wasn't happy about that because obviously I'm a very positive punter and I wanted Davis to win and I wanted Spieth to win. But, that was the good point. Yeah, Spieth played great, didn't he? He ham and egged so well with Justin Thomas, didn't he? I mean, they were ham and egging like there was no tomorrow, weren't they? And then Spieth got the monkey off his back in the singles. He'd never won a singles match in the Ryder Cup or the President's Cup.
That Norton 7 record's incredible, isn't it, for a player of that talent? Amazing.
Incredible anomaly. But so it just meant he was so pumped up for that Sunday. And Cam Davis got an early lead and then was destroyed. But the bad news was the handicap. I mean, it was a winning margin. It was 7 points or more that we needed. So 18.5 points was what we needed to get to. And the first 2 days, it's a 1 to 8 chance. After the first 2 days, they're 8-2 up. It's a 1 to 8 chance that they win by 7 points or more. And then they just got a bit sloppy on the Saturday and were one shot short. The Justin Thomas Siwoo Kim match, an absolutely epic contest. That was so crucial for the winning margin. Justin Thomas let that go late on. Siwoo Kim, blimmin' it. The kahunas.
I was bursting to talk about that because Justin Thomas, when I saw the song and dance he made about having to putt that tiddler, I just thought that's pathetic. To me, the rule with concessions is if you're so outraged by someone making you putt, you keep calm, you walk up, you tap it in and you move on. You don't do all that sort of, why is he making putt it? How does he think he is? Yeah. And then, of course, he lost his head, took the chief out of the bag at the next one and smashed it all over the place. So Siwoo Kim won, Justin Thomas 0 from that point, and that was how it ended up, wasn't it? Brilliant.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think he did get into Justin Thomas's head. I think Justin Thomas reacted like that to try and unsettle Siwoo, but Siwoo's he's got an incredible mental game, hasn't he? I mean, to confront the crowd like that and then produce over those final holes. Siwoo broke my heart there for the handicap, and then Cameron Young. I mean, he's like putting like. His putting, short-range putting was like, disgusting.
I know.
They go to him. He'd be missing from a couple of feet. And, he only lost that match to Sung Jae In by 1 hole. So, it was just fractions that blew that. But, at least Jordan Spieth did the business. We had a 14-1 winner there. Long live the President's Cup. There's lots of talk about making it a mixed event, but I'm quite happy as it is at the moment.
I think you could have a good mixed event, to be honest. You could probably have like maybe 4 pairings from Europe, 4 from America, and 4 from the rest of the world, and you could have a kind of triangular event, couldn't you? That'd be good.
Well, it's because the international ladies are so good, you see. They're better than the American ladies, so it would level it up nicely. But if the internationals are happy to keep, being plucky, there might be another Tom Kim on the scene by then. I mean,
I'm going to talk about Tom Kim, Steve, because I think he was my man of the match. I mean, I love this kid so much. I think he's absolutely superb. Those 2 long putts he made on the Saturday and giving it the big and on the tees, encouraging everyone to make a noise. He's just a brilliant character, isn't he? And he's got the golfing world at his feet, hasn't he?
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, I had 3 joint man of the matches. Okay. If that's allowed. I think, and 2 of them were called Mr. Kim. I mean, Siwoo Kim, as discussed, the broom handle putters revived him, hasn't it? Because putting was the weakness, and that putty hole to beat Justin Thomas in the 18th green. Nobody gave him a chance. You look at Justin Thomas's face when that went in. Could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. Siwoo Kim did believe it, and I think he's going to go from strength to strength. Yeah, we're big Siwoo fans, and Tom Kim, as you say. I mean, is this a potential world number 1? 20 years
for Pete's sake.
20, fluent in 3 languages. I love how they threw that in. He's fluent in 3 languages. That's going to help him. That's going to help him. It just shows what drive he's got, really. You don't get fluent in 3 languages at 20 by sitting on your couch watching the telly, do you?
And yet wants to be called Tom because he loves Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, exactly. Maybe he has been watching some telly. He's officially called Tom there, and he's listed as Tom Kim on the websites and that. So I think we talked about him in the Singapore Open in January. You probably won't remember that, but we tipped Tom when he was Jung Hong Kim for the Singapore Open in January when he's a relative unknown, and he won't be bothering with Singapore Opens now. He's world number 22 and rising. I think he's going to become Asia's best player, and I think potentially top 5 in the world player. Enormous potential.
And then, really good, isn't it? And then did we have another man of the match?
We had another one. I think it'd be remiss of us not to talk about Maximus Homer, because of all the Americans that were enjoying the plaudits there, it's easy to forget Max Homer, 100% record there, 4 matches, 4 wins, so composed, holding clutch putts all day long. I think Homer is an elite golfer now. We like him for his banter. He's
winning machine as well, isn't he?
He's a winning machine. He's a really efficient golfer, isn't he? So they were the 3 I took from the race, so to speak. And then the one that I didn't take from the race, the big negative, Corey Connors. I mean, poor old Corey Connors. I mean, we had Sanderson failure to win that single on Sunday, and it was much closer than I anticipated. But right at the death, you saw why you opposed Corey Connors in pressure situations. He didn't score a single point all week, and he just capitulated with a great chance. Shafali opened the door for him, and he just couldn't go through it. As
they say, Shafali opened the door, and he walked into the wall.
Couldn't have put it better. And the next President's Cup is in Canada. There's going to be even more pressure on. If he makes that team, there's going to be even more pressure on him.
And the other Canadian wasn't exactly brilliant either, was he? So, yeah.
No. Less expected from him. He played quite well in spurts, did Taylor Pendrith. But, we'll see how many Canadians we get on the team. Maybe Weirsy's going to have to come out of time.
It's in Canada next time, is it? Oh,
Royal Montreal, I believe.
Anyway, I love a bit. I love all that team stuff. It's brilliant, isn't it? I really enjoyed it. It was an excellent week. And let's talk first. So hang on, I'm just going to shut the window because the gardener's outside this infernal leaf blower, and he's going to interrupt the transmission. Otherwise, what's that? A pint of lager?
Yeah, it's pint of lager. No, it's not. No, it's one of those Barocca things again. Yeah, you've got your own gardener, have you? Or is that a communal one?
A communal one, yeah. And he always seems to coincide the leaf blowing activity with the recording of the Sweet Spot. It's a little bit irksome.
Scumbag.
No, he's not. He's a lovely fellow, old John. But Anyway, hopefully that won't interrupt the transmission. Let's talk about the French Open, because that was extremely dramatic. Oh, you wagged your finger there as if there was another point about the President's Cup, or
no.
Yes, let's.
Just encouraging you, just pushing you on, riding you, if you will.
Thanks for the encouragement, Steve. But Guido Migliozzi, came from absolutely nowhere. 80-1 pre-tournament, touched 1,000 in running on the exchanges, and what a phenomenal 62 to sweep past the leaders and win it. And let's talk about that birdie on 18, Steve, because it's the hardest hole in the week. No one had birdied it on the day. It's a really, really difficult hole. And that imperious approach shot was just fantastic. No wonder Rowie was drooling about it.
He had every right to drool, didn't he? Yeah, it was Royal Rover stuff. His caddy was urging caution. and he went straight at the pin with a 5-iron from almost 200 yards. He was such a bold player, and he just wanted to win it there and then. He was 9 under par for his final 13 holes at the Golf Nacional.
Yeah,
this is a tough track, and he just destroyed it. I mean, we talked about it for the Italian Open. He's got the X factor, hasn't he? Migliotti in full flow has got the X factor. He didn't produce it at the Italian Open, unfortunately, but he did last week. He's got Ryder Cup next year. You talk about President's Cup in Canada.
Ryder Cup in Rome.
Ryder Cup in Rome. We all want to see Guido on that. The European
Who's the
Ryder
skipper?
Cup.
It's Luke Donald, isn't
Luke
it?
Donald. Luke Donald. Yeah. He'd be absolutely delighted with how it's shaping up. Shane Lowry won the BMW PGA in the first qualifying event. Robert McIntyre and Italian Open. So he's got 3 players that have won there that he'd quite fancy on his team.
Absolutely. Let's get some betting for the next year's Ryder Cup. Let's get carried away. It's a long time, obviously. In fact, it's 1 year and 2 days from now. They'll be starting.
Is it really? Yeah. Not long to wait, I guess. And
I'm
then
looking at 8 to 15 USA, 15 to 8 Europe, and 12 to 1 the tie. Is that about? You hate talking about the Ryder Cup until the week itself, but is that sort of ballpark where you thought it would be?
Yeah, that sounds fair to me. Yeah, this American side is young and confident and seeking record-breaking totals. I mean, Davis Love very revealing after the President's Cup, because he said that he was quite happy with 16 points and he was focused on getting to 16 points. But he said all his players were talking about bigger numbers. So they were like me. They fancied that they were going to be breaking records last week and fully dispatching. That just shows the confidence in the side. They don't just want to win these team events now. They expect to win. They want to win big and they want to set records.
It was disappointing to only see about 8 hours of combined footage of Davis Love riding around in a buggy, wasn't it? I could have done with more of that. And just quickly to get an old bugbear of mine off my chest, going back to the President's Cup. I mean, the momentum word, come on, please. It was just every single time. It was just getting trotted out so much. Anyway, I must get over that. Let's get back to the Italian Open. Fantastic by Migliotti, but the one man who will be leaving France with his tail between his legs, I guess, be Rasmus Højgaard. Tell everyone about what happened to him over the weekend.
Yeah, Rasmus Højgaard took an 8 at the second hole in round 3. So
a par 3, no less.
A par 3, yeah. Dropped 5 shots in one hole and then bogeyed the next as well. So yeah, he had a calamitous start to the third round. Squandered his lead immediately.
Because he was 7 clear, wasn't he, going into the weekend? 7 or 8?
6
was it?
Clear,
okay,
yeah. 6 clear, and then just kept firing balls into the water at the second. Yeah, the Golf Nacional, so much water, so much danger, and Rasmus just, was very cavalier there. It shows the character of the lad, though. The next day, approaching that same hole, he makes a birdie holding a 56-foot putt. I mean, he played safe and then hold a putt. He got his revenge. I love Rasmus Højgaard. It shows how crazy the game of golf is, that you can shoot an 8 and then a 2.
Thomas Peters was being Thomas Peters, wasn't he?
Thomas Peters was being Thomas Peters. I mean, I was outraged by that. Were you outraged by that? I mean, I mean, I was talking about his general play, but yes, of course, we must talk about this. It was either Thursday or Friday, in case you didn't see it, and you can see it on Twitter. He's got a long putt, and he's standing over it. And then I guess he must have been distracted, mustn't he? There was a cough in the crowd. There was a cough.
A cough. Anyway, there was a cough. And he kind of trundled it a foot. Now, he was meant to hit it 50-odd foot, and he's literally hit it 2 or 3 feet. And he gets another go. He doesn't get penalised. I mean, this is the thing that gets me about this, Steve. In golf, you get a free drop, you get a ruling, you get relief. It happens all the time, except for the one thing which it should do, which is when your ball, through no fault of your own, trundles into a badly repaired pitch mark, into a divot on the fairway, and you're not allowed to get relief off that. The rules of golf are the maddest thing in the world.
I agree. I thought that incident summed up everything that is wrong with society. No one takes.
Society thing is like golf.
Nobody takes any responsibility for their actions anymore, do they? You go, I didn't mean to hit it. I didn't mean to hit it. You did hit it. You did hit it. Yeah. I do lots of things I don't mean to do. I didn't mean to lose on the handicap last week. Can I start again? Not have a bet on that. I mean, I thought it was a disgrace he even asked. I thought he should, he's so embarrassed. And the referees always seem to pander to him, don't they?
They bottle it every time.
They always find a way to agree with the player.
Yeah, they do. They get talked out of it.
Get talked out of it. I can't believe that rule even exists. I think that he must have got that wrong. That seems ridiculous to me. I would have just gone up to him and said, "Tough turkey. Why did you hit it? Oh, someone coughed. Someone coughed. Who cares? People cough.
Exactly. Yeah.
People cough.
Yeah.
He's played in an away Ryder Cup. He's played in an away Ryder Cup. He didn't do any stopping there, did he? He should be able to handle a cough. He should be able to handle a cacophony of coughs.
He should. And
me.
yet the previous week, a player got distracted on the team. It might have been Fitzpatrick. Yeah, it was Fitzpatrick. He got distracted by a camera on the 18th. I don't know if you saw that, and he hooked his drive into the deep stuff. Billy Foster wasn't happy. I think he called the snappers a moron or something. But anyway, Fitzpatrick just got on with it. That's the way it is. Going back to that incident in Italy, though, Steve, why do they still, in the era of digital cameras, why do they still have cameras that make a noise? They go.
It's a good point. It's a good point. No, you'll have to ask Edward Whittaker or whoever's into that sort of thing.
I will. Yeah. Anyway, yes. That was ridiculous, but also Peter's, where there's water, he will find it. And he played beautifully a lot of the time, but he's always going to be susceptible to a nutcase shot and stick it in the drink. Coetzee, he found the drink quite a bit, didn't he? It wasn't great from him, but you had to give credit to Migliozzi. It was a fantastic finish, and yet another brilliant tournament, Steve. I've really enjoyed the golf recently. I think we've had so many dramatic, incredible finishes. Willett and Homer the week before. Really good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it was heartwarming stuff. That's two young guns, Guido Migliozzi, Rasmus Højgaard. We're going to be watching them for the rest of our lives, literally.
I enjoyed the shot of Migliozzi and his girlfriend watching on the phone, because you get a delay, don't you, if you're watching that. So we knew that they were about to sort of see the moment when he knew he'd won it, and they were looking all worried, and then you just see him burst into a nice big smile. Well,
that's an interesting. I'm glad you brought that up, because Guido Migliozzi's girlfriend made a surprise visit to Paris midway through the tournament, and so she turns up. I'm here. And clearly inspired him.
Yeah, massive Philip, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got the Italian stallion in the right frame of mind, hasn't it? So
absolutely.
Yeah. All credit to Guido. No credit to Victor Perez for his triple bogey on Sunday. That was the low light of my week. He was looking good for the places, and then triple bogeyed. Victor Perez let me down badly. But all good fun, and we've got more fun to come.
Right, should we get straight? Should we look ahoy?
I think we've got to. I like the look of certainly like the look of one of these tournaments. I'm a bit worried about the weather in the other.
Oh blimey! Well, we've got we haven't. We've got the Sanderson Farms Classic, or whatever it's called. But first of all, we've got the Alfred Dunhill Lynx Championship up in Scotland. It starts at 7:30 in the morning on Thursday. Here are the latest prices. It's a Pro-Am, don't forget. And a really good field. Rory McIlroy 9-2, Matt Fitzpatrick 11-1, along with Shane Lowry, 16 Tyrrell Hatton, 20 Tommy Fleetwood, 25 Thomas Peters, 30 Billy Horschel and Taylor Gooch, and 33 Barr. So, Steve, tell us all about it. Slightly different format to normal, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 courses. Everyone plays 1 round at each over the first 3 days. The cut is made after 3 rounds. The qualifiers tee up at St Andrews on Sunday. So 2 rounds will be played on the Old Lady. St Andrews 7,318 yards, 1 round at Carnoustie 7,394 yards, 1 round at Kingsbarn 7,227 yards. All tracks are par 72. Dunhill Lynx has been going since 2001, and St Andrews and Carnoustie have also hosted loads of opens.
You did well to hold that together there. I was fiddling, wasn't I? Could you tell?
You were fiddling. I did notice. Yeah, I'm sure.
I had a frog in my throat, so I had to turn the microphone off.
Oh, did you?
I did. And then when I went to turn the microphone back on, I accidentally turned my camera off.
Oh, my word. I would describe that as hapless. I would describe that as a hapless performance.
I'm sure producer Will was having kittens while you were doing that.
Yeah, he'll sort that out, wouldn't he? But I was just making the point that St Andrews hosted the last Open. It wasn't long ago we were at St Andrews, was it? Doing a Sweet Spot Live, and Rory McIlroy was breaking hearts. So St Andrews is the easiest of the 3. In calm weather, but it's difficult in strong winds. Carnoustie is the hardest.
So is this the tournament you were talking about when you had weather concerns?
Yeah, because we're tipping here without seeing the draw. And I think the draw could have an impact because Thursday's forecast is fantastic in comparison to Friday's. You've got a calm.
Friday's brutal, isn't it?
Yeah, you got a calm Thursday. Then you got heavy rain and strong breezes on the Friday. Saturday is dry but breezy. So loads of punters will be waiting for the draw here and probably ruling out anyone that's got to play Carnoustie on the Friday. You could run up a cricket score at Carnoustie on the Friday, but it must also be noted that St Andrews, as discussed, is much more difficult in the wind. So you could argue that getting St Andrews on the calm day on the Thursday is the best draw. So you get off to a flyer and then defend your score from there wherever you are. I'm not so sure. I think, just to cut a long story short, I think the best draw you could get is Carnoustie, Kingsbarn, St Andrews.
Okay. And also, I suppose one of the things that creates draw biases is changing weather on a particular day, isn't it? I mean, if we got that, where you've got like a calm morning and then a wild afternoon.
Well, the thing is, they all tee off at the tee times start at 9 a.m., don't they? And these rounds take so long because they're with amateur partners. They're 6-hour rounds. So basically, all available sunlight is taken up.
Yeah, sure. So there isn't really too much of a draw bias then, is there?
It depends who's playing which track on which day. Okay. And I think the tournament organisers, we call this a draw, don't we? But the tournament organisers, they don't want the big guns to be blown away at Carnoustie on the Friday. So I'll be very surprised if they put the star names out at Carnoustie on Friday.
Oh, so you think some of them might get a little bit of a hand? Won't they distribute the big names between all the 3 courses probably?
No, they tend to, because the Sky cameras want to be focused on one particular course. So they tend to put them all on one. So, we'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll give them the dream draw and start them off at Carnoustie.
Can you tell us a little bit about the AM side of the event? Who have we got? Have we got sports stars? I mean, I see Billy Horschel's there. I presume he'd be playing with his soccer mates, Nobes and JT and people like that, will he?
Good question. I think he had his dad with him last time.
Oh, yeah, he did. You're right.
His dad. Yeah. Rory's playing with his dad.
Rory's got his dad, hasn't he?
Yeah. There's a real sort of ragbag of people in there. Yeah, I haven't looked at your Stephen Redgraves. Tim Edmonds. Well, I think he likes it there, doesn't he? Yeah. You get all sorts, don't you? Your Piers Morgans, I think, even plays in this. Yeah. I think there's a lot of sports stars, celebrities, and then you just get sort of the really rich guys that are there because they pump them up into it. But we need the sponsors, don't we?
I see Taylor Gucci's darkening the DP World Tour's doorstep again. He's got some temerity, hasn't he?
Yeah, there's a few livers here. There's a few livers.
Louis Oosthuizen.
Louis Oosthuizen. There's a few livers here, so that's not going to go away in a hurry. Actually, I did notice that a liver was invited to this. Peter Uihlein got a sponsor's invite for. So I don't know what.
That's odd, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what Pelly was thinking about that. That did stun me, but there's a few livers, and that cloud is going to be over this tournament as well as all the others.
Right then, it's been a long run to the first tip. So without further ado, how many selections do you have, Steve?
Got a long run to the first tip, and I even got a prop for this one, so it's going to be an even longer
run.
Yeah, I got 4 right.
Is that the prop?
If they get a good draw. Oh, sorry, no. Which way did that go?
Oh, blimey! What a splendid top hat, Steve, and it fits well, doesn't it? It's a lovely fit.
It does fit well, yeah.
Right. I've got no idea why you are wearing that, so we'll find out. Who's the main tip?
The main tip is Tyrrell Hatton.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah, I put my hat on. Because when we tipped Tyrrell Hatton to win the Abu Dhabi Championship, John Owen from Formby sent me this because he was so pleased with the Tyrrell Hatton winning the Abu Dhabi Championship. We haven't tipped him. I don't think we tipped him since. I'm not sure. I certainly haven't had the hat on since. So Tyrrell Hatton is a 16-1 chance, which I think is delightful because he is a perennial Dunhill Lynx Championship contender. He's become a almost permanent fixture on the Dunhill leaderboard. And he's rarely turned up for this event with more desire than he's carrying at the moment. He hasn't won a trophy this year. He'd be fuming with that. A bit like Shane Larry was before the BMW PGA. A real hunger and desire for silverware. Not that long ago, Tyrrell Hatton was winning the Abu Dhabi Championship, and he was world number 5. World number 5. Now he's down to world number 27. And he's not been doing much wrong in that spell. He just hasn't been winning. He's finished second 3 times since that Abu Dhabi win. Now it's time for him to get off the mark in 2022. He's won a tournament in each of the last 3 years. He'll want to keep the streak going, and the Dunhill Lynx is a great opportunity. He won the Dunhill in 2016 by 4 shots. That was his maiden European Tour title. Then he defended his title in spectacular fashion, a 3-shot victory in 2017. He was 47 under par in total for those 2 victories. And then he came ridiculously close to completing the hat-trick in 2018. He finished second in 2018, beaten by just a shot. He had a poor Sunday. He was 15th in 2019, no tournament in 2020, and he was second last year. Sorry, I punched the microphone there. I can't believe the material I've got here. You've got a player here that's finished in the top 2 in 4 of the last 5 Dunhills. It's just ridiculous course form. Hatton loves this event. And that weather forecast on Friday is really ugly, and you've got to be well up for this. And I think Hatton is well up for this. You've got 6-hour rounds with amateur partners in terrible weather. Lots of players will lose their focus. Lots of players will lose their marbles. I think Hatton knows this is a great chance to become a St Andrews legend. You know, a lot of talk at the moment about money in the game. It's all about trophies, silverware, prestige. This is a big moment. No one else has won 3 Dunhills. He could win 3 Dunhills, be a St Andrews legend. I think he'll knuckle down. He was 11th in the Open in July, and he played really well. He played really well last time out in the Italian Open. finished 8th. That was a really encouraging sign that he's coming back to his best.
I love it when you just keep throwing extra bits of icing on there. That's amazing. You think almost for a combustible kind of chap. I mean, remember you legendarily called him this annoying little man. You would have thought the format you did. Sorry, I shouldn't bring that up after
before I backed him for the Average Championship.
Yeah. But you'd think being so combustible and so potty mouthed that this format might actually exasperate him, but it doesn't seem to. Perhaps it actually keeps him nice and calm.
Yeah, I mean, he formed a nice pro-am partnership with Jamie Dornan, who is an actor, Northern Irish actor, I believe. So, maybe he just gets on so well with Jamie Dornan. I don't know, but he's a great Lynx player, isn't he? And for one reason or t'other, Tyrrell Hatton loves this event, and I think he's going to come into this one with real hunger for silverware and deliver for us at a decent price. I was expecting a bit shorter than 16s.
Marvellous. Wow, that is a rock solid case. That well done, Steve. I very much like the hat as well. It's excellent. Have you got a box for it? I think you need a box for a top hat.
No, I haven't actually. That just goes in the fancy dress drawer with all my children's stuff.
Excellent. Right then, so we've got 4 tips. We've had Tyrrell Hatton. I mean, you made such a strong case, almost hardly worth bothering with anyone else, but let's press on.
Well, bother with Tommy Fleetwood at 20-1. Another Englishman who plays St Andrews superbly. All 4 of my tips this week are Englishmen. 5 of the last 8 Dunhills have been won by an Englishman. I think that'd be 6 from 9 on Sunday. Fleetwood took a lot of time off after the Open. His mum died. He needed a proper break from golf. He returned for the BMW PGA Championship, fired an amazing first round to take the lead, stalled over the final 2 rounds. Understandable inconsistency after the break. I expect a more grooved 4-round performance at the Dunhill. He loves St Andrews. He was 5th on his Dunhill debut in 2011, 5th again in 2013, 2nd in 2014, 13th in 2015, 15th in 2016, 25th in 2017, 2nd in 2018, 5th in 2019, 7th last year. Just always on the Dunhill leaderboard. He's never missed the cut. Bear in mind, this is a 168 runner event. Only 60 get through. Only 60 qualify for the cut. He's never, ever missed a cut. He's always a fixture on this leaderboard. He was 4th in the Open at St Andrews in July. Grew up playing links golf. He's brilliant at links golf. The tough conditions this week, we've got lots of breeze. Should bring out the best in him. So, like Hatton, he's on an annoying victory drought. I think those two will bring good attitudes to the course this week.
Excellent. Who else have we got, Steve?
Thompson Lewis. Tom Lewis. I got a Tommy. I got a Tom. Tom Lewis. 90-1. Tom Lewis, another Lynx master, made his name as an amateur, starring on Lynx terrain. He won the St Andrews Lynx Trophy on the Old Lady in 2011. That year, he led the Open as an amateur in round 1, finished 30th. He knows how to handle Lynx golf. And in 2013, he was 1 shot shy of the Dunhill Lynx playoff, closed with a 64, finished 3rd. He was 10th in the 2018 Dunhill, 5th in the 2019 Dunhill. And recent signs really encouraging. We were on Lewis the other day. He was 13th in the Czech Masters at the end of August, 12th in the Maiden Himmerland, 16th in the Italian Open. Went well for a long way in the French Open last week. Had a bad Sunday. Happens at Le Golf National. Couple of water balls, and your scorecard is destroyed. But the French Open is not a good fit for Lewis. Dunhill Lynx very much is. His approach play has been superb lately.
Okay, and your final tip. It's an Englishman who's bigger than 90-1. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
I was trying to find out. I reckon it could be. Could it be Matthew Jordan?
Yes. Yes, it is. And we've backed him before in this tournament. A Wirral lad, another Lynx natural, a Hoylake member from a very young age. He won the St Andrews Lynx Trophy, another St Andrews Lynx Trophy winner in 2019. He won the Lytham Trophy by 9 shots in 2018. So brilliant amateur Lynx record. 15th in the 2019 British Masters on a Lynx. 5th in this tournament in 2019. Jordan's Lynx ability is beyond question. He qualified for the Open this year on St Anne's Old Lynx. Another old Annie, another respectable old lady.
Excellent.
This is perfect for him. He was 4th in the Maiden Himmerland earlier this month, 23rd at Wentworth. He's won on the Challenge Tour. I've been saying it for a long time, but he's good enough to win on the DP World Tour. He's only 26.
Okay. Rory, does that do it for you? 9-2?
No, I think the price is terrible because this weather forecast, you're going to be out in 40-mile-an-hour gusts for long spells. A lot can go wrong very quickly. I can't play a 9-2 shot. I don't really like backing Rory in strong winds anyway. 167 players to beat. He's never won this tournament. He's never won at St Andrews. No Cameron Smith to worry about, but he's not for me. Even though I think he's going to get they're going to try and give him the best draw. So there's a lot talking about wind. There was a big gust there.
Really?
Scared the life out of me. What a tree was going to come going down. So yeah, Rory it's just price, isn't it? You cannot play at 9 to 2 in this weather forecast, can you?
No. Well, I take my guidance from you on all these things. Yeah, it does seem a little bit short with the variable of the high wind on Friday for sure. Did you say the weekend will be a little bit calmer?
Saturday's breezy. Sunday, it's breezy all week really. Thursday's the calm day. You got to make a score on Thursday, wherever you are. I mean, if you're at Carnoustie, you won't expect much. But I think Shane Lowry's the hardest of the top 3 not to back, Bruce. Shane Lowry.
Just quickly. Oh, okay, go on. Sorry, expand.
I was just saying of McIlroy, Fitzpatrick, and Shane Lowry. I mean, Shane Lowry's the most appealing. Again, 11 to 1. I just couldn't quite pull the trigger at 11 to 1, given the issues with this weather forecast.
Just very quickly, Steve, if you're having do they do first round leader? Given that, yeah, they do. They do first round leader. Which course would you go for if you were trying to have a bet on the first round leader? Where should you concentrate on? St Andrews, if it's calm on Thursday.
I don't think they do first round leader.
Well, I'm looking at. Oh no, I am looking at first round leader. Yes.
Oh yeah.
They
really
do.
Okay. Well, no, St Andrews or Kingsbarns. Yeah, St Andrews has got a slight edge over Kingsbarns. Yeah,
but not Carnoustie, no.
No. I'll be staggered if the first round leader comes from Carnoustie.
Okay, let's move across the Atlantic to the Sanderson and look at the Sanderson Farms Championship. Here's the latest betting. Sam Burns, a member of the victorious President's Cup team, he's 10 to 1 fav. And then there's a bit of a gap to the rest. 20 to 1 Sahith Thigala, 25 JT Poston, 25 Russell Henley and Scott Stallings and Denny McCarthy, 28 Taylor Montgomery and 35 Keegan Bradley and Davis Riley, 40 bar. So not many stars. We have got another couple of President's Cuppers out there. Bedizenhut is out there. So yeah, it's not the A-list tournament, is it? Apart from Burns. Tell us about where the tournament takes place and what sort of test it is, Steve.
It's the Country Club of Jackson in Mississippi. 7,461 yards, par 72, host since 2014, tree-lined traditional layout, 4 par 5s. Winning scores been between 16 under par and 22 under par every year. Perfect weather this week. This is why you can bet with a little bit more confidence on this one. Calm skies, warm, sunny.
Okay. How many selections have you got for this, Steve?
5. Lots of big prices.
Okay, far away with your main tip.
Headline selection, 125 to 1. Robbie Shelton, grossly underrated in the market. Robbie Shelton is a 4-time winner on the Corn Ferry Tour. One of those wins came in June this year. One of those wins came in August this year. He's propelled himself onto the PGA Tour with a burst of quality from summer onwards. In between those 2 wins, he finished second in another Corn Ferry Tour event. Form is bursting out, Robbie Shelton, and he's made a really solid start to his PGA Tour season last time out. 3 good rounds from 4 in the Fortinet Championship, finished 21st, and now he tees up close to home in the Sanderson Farms. Before the Fortinet, you might remember we talked about his homesickness. He had homesickness in his first spell on the PGA Tour. He just loves his home state of Alabama and this region generally. Mississippi is just across the Alabama border. His first 2 Corn Ferry Tour victories came in Tennessee, another state which borders Mississippi. Shelton will be buzzing about teeing up in front of family and friends in Mississippi this week. I think he's ready for a big performance. Don't forget, he was 3rd on the PGA Tour when still an amateur in the 2015 Barbasol. That's something that only phenomenons do. Phil Mickelson won the Tucson Open in 1991 when he was still an amateur. Shelton's performance was the best amateur performance on the PGA Tour since then. This player's got huge potential. He's a superstar in the making for me. He's only 27. Give him time. This is his 4th spin at Jackson Country Club. He was 28th in 2019. So, yeah, I have to go in as a headline tip on Robbie Shelton, given those prices. I don't understand the price.
Love it. Wow. I'm definitely going to be backing him. Who else should I be backing?
Next best is Scott Stallings at 28 to 1, who won this tournament in 2012 when it was called the True South Classic. That was at a different Mississippi layout. But he likes this one too. He was 6th in 2020 at Jackson Country Club. He's a 3-time PGA Tour champion, which in this grade, makes him one of the most successful players in the field. He's desperate to end that victory drought. It stretches back to 2014 Farmers Insurance, but encouraging recent signs. I mean, one piece of form stands out like the sorest thumb you've ever seen in your life. Scott Stallings finished 2nd in the BMW Championship just over a month ago. That's a FedEx Cup playoff event. A lineup oozing class. Patrick Cantlay was the only man that could beat him by a shot. He was swinging superbly, and that was Stallings. And it wasn't a performance that came out of the blue. He was 8th in the Travellers' Championship, 4th in the John Deere, 10th in the Rocket Mortgage, 13th in the Wyndham. Stallings has got his act together. He lives across the Mississippi border in Tennessee.
Sounds like he might have a class edge. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
Next up.
Another 125 to 1 chance. Davis Thompson, another youngster who loves this part of the world. He was born in Alabama like Shelton, went on to become a superstar at the University of Georgia, former world #1 amateur. He led the 2020 US Open at Winged Foot through 12 holes when he was still an amateur, open with a 69. He's good enough to make an impression in this grade close to home. He played in 8 PGA Tour events last year, made the cut in 5 of them. Really solid start to PGA Tour life. One of those cuts was made in the Sanderson Farms Championship. 4 solid rounds for 35th place. And then this year, he's been showing off on the Corn Ferry Tour. He won his first Corn Ferry Tour event in June. He's got a PGA Tour card in his pocket now. And last time out, Fortinet Championship finished 9th. Settled immediately in the higher grade.
Lovely stuff. Crack on.
Justin Suh, 66 to 1. Another former world #1 amateur. Finally got a PGA Tour card in his trousers at the age of 25. It was always a case of if, not when. When, not if, Justin Suh became a PGA Tour champion. He will become a PGA Tour champion. He had a really consistent Corn Ferry Tour campaign. He won the Corn Ferry Tour Championship at the start of this month. That was his 10th top 10 of the year. Missed the cut in the Fortinet. Don't worry about that. He's world class. His iron play is elite.
Okay, SUH. I just wanted to
SUH, yeah.
Because you can't be sure, can you? You can't be sure, can you? You might look down the list and go, how's that one spelled? So it's SUH.
Oh, sorry, yeah. SUH.
Right.
SUH. Nickname suits you, and his nickname suits you.
Excellent, indeed. Right, final tip then. What have we got?
You better prepare your face. I know there's a face coming. I know you got less patience than me. It's Davis Riley. There's the face. Davis Riley at 40 to 1. I can't go into battle this week without Riley on my side. He knows the country club of Jackson extremely well. He's a Mississippi man. The tour has come to his patch. The world and his wife knows that Riley's going to become a multiple PGA Tour champion. He's won twice on the Corn Ferry Tour. Hugely impressive PGA Tour maiden last year.
When he wins the 2043 Barracuda Championship, you're going to go, yeah, I told you he'd win.
No, it's going to come sooner than that. And I can forgive the Fortinet flop. Yeah, there's a good tongue twister there. Forgive the Fortinet flop. Riley's going to win soon. It may be this week.
Okay, lovely stuff. Let's reiterate the tips then, Steve, shall we? The Alfred Dunhill Lynx.
Tyrrell Hatton, Tommy Fleetwood, Tom Lewis, Matthew Jordan.
And the Sanderson Farms Championship.
Robbie Shelton, Scott Stallings, Davis Thompson, Justin Suh, Davis Riley.
Lovely stuff. Brilliant. Well done, Steve. Any other business?
Oh, no, I think we had a long one there, didn't we? Yeah, we rabbited away. So, no other business. No, let's just enjoy our golf and hope the pound recovers.
Well, yeah, exactly. But we are going to enjoy our golf in a couple of weeks, and you've left it down to me again to arrange it. So I'm going to put a quick plea out to Sweet Spot viewers. First of all, if you enjoy the show, we'd love you to hit the thumbs up. We'd also love you to let us know who you fancy this week. If you nail a big prize winner, we'll give you a shout out. But me and Steve, I live sort of just south of London. Steve lives down in Dorset, and we need to find a course sort of equidistant. It's kind of Hampshire, really, and maybe potentially sort of Wiltshire. We played Royal Winchester last time, didn't we, which we liked very much. But if any of you have got any good suggestions where Steve and I should play in a couple of weeks, then please let us know. I looked to one called Test Valley, which looked very nice. So if anyone's played that, let us know. Otherwise, thank you very much indeed for joining us on the Sweet Spot. Thank you very much, Steve. Anything exciting coming up between now and next week?
We're going to back the winner of this week's 2 golf tournaments. That is going to be very exciting.
Jolly good. Let's hope so. Next week, we've got the Shriners Children's Open and the Spanish Open. We would love... Oh, go on.
And the Live Golf Bangkok. I knew you'd forget that.
Live, is that?
Live Golf Bangkok. We're all looking forward to that.
I didn't forget. I just didn't know. You can't forget something you didn't know.
Yeah. It's a triple header.
Brilliant stuff. Okay, we're back next week. Thank you to producer Will. Hopefully you can join us next Tuesday for another Sweet Spot.